It is a problem. Let's switch to Ed Snowden, if you don't mind, John. And I want to talk about him because there's a lot of talk whether he is a hack or a hero. What do you think?
It depends on which perspective you want to look at Mr. Snowden. From my perspective, I think he revealed something that we all knew. I mean, we're being spied on by our government. Duh. Who does not know that? I mean, it's simply that Mr. Snowden has put a quantitative value on it and given the exact means, and some of the exact means of how that spying takes place. To that extent, he's a hero in telling us what we already knew and making us have to face that fact. The U.S. government probably does not consider him a hero. Vladimir Putin, the Chinese government, I think they both consider him heroes.
You know, he started Booz Allen with the intent of getting this type of information and then exposing it. Now, another similarity you have with him is that you, too, worked at Booz Allen.
Right.
I don't, you obviously don't intend to be a spy or any of that, but what do you make of that?
Okay, I worked for Booz Allen in Hamilton from 1980 to 1982. I did not work for them to be a spy. It's a management consulting firm, and the jobs they get you are very cushy, and they pay extremely well, and they're very easy. That's why I work for Booz Allen. But Booz Allen is well, one of the top three consulting firms. There's BCG,
right.
Boston Consulting, McKinsey, and Booz Allen. And so clearly, if the government wants high-quality tech talent, they're going to go to one of those three consulting firms. A great job, and I don't know whether Snowden started at Booz Allen with the intent of trying to spy or not. I have no information on that, but it's a great company, and through that relationship, he was able to get access to information that most of us can't get access to.
Yeah, he said that was his goal. Those are his words, that to get to Booz Allen, to get to that. Now, I guess the reason why I'm asking is, to your point, it sounds like you lean aside that what he did was something good. Whether his intentions were noble is still up to be decided. Is that about right?
Well, here's what I feel. Any disclosure of any information is good. Why should we be kept in the dark on anything? Good Lord, you know, we're all adults here. I want to know what's happening in my world. Otherwise, I'm in the dark and I'm bumping into things, and so are you. So are we all. So to that extent, you know, I'm behind the guy. Let's find out what the world is all about. What is our government actually doing? Don't you want to know, people? I do. So to that extent, I back him fully. I also back his balls, if I can say that on Fox. Or I'm behind his courage. All right, he has the courage to actually do something, knowing its risks, and now he's on the run. Having been on the run many times in my life, the first many times while I was in Mexico, certainly the last time in Belize, I know how difficult and how frightening that can be. And the man is half my age. If he were here, I think I could give him some very good advice and help him quite a bit.
What would you tell him? What would you tell him?
Well, number one, I would have told him to stay in Hong Kong. The back alleys of Hong Kong are notorious for being susceptible. You can disappear into the back alleys of Hong Kong. You can become one of the masses. The Chinese government certainly has no interest in tracking him down. Neither will they cooperate with any American agency.
You don't think the Chinese? Come on, John. You don't think the Chinese would have interest in a lot of the stuff he knows?
Well, they would, but I mean, you know, unlike the Russians, I don't think the Chinese would be very harsh on him. I mean, maybe they would detain him for a while, but you know, the Chinese are very, what's the word? They make good hosts, okay? And if you're a guest in their country, you can live fairly well. And by the way, I'm not dissing America here, and I'm not trying to give the man illegal advice. I'm just saying that had it been me, I would have stayed in Hong Kong, absolutely.
Now, before we go to a quick break here, the one thing that has come up with him, John, is that if he were a genuine whistleblower, go ahead. It's a family show. Go ahead. But it was a move to not be a whistleblower and do some good, but to get out of the country and do some bad. That there's a procedure for going to your higher ups or going to an independent counsel or an inspector general. He didn't do that. He immediately went to Hong Kong, which means to some of the people who don't like him very much, he's a spy and had spy intents. What do you say?
Well, you know, having dealt with governments, I think all governments are the same. They do not have much of a heart, sir. Human beings have hearts. I mean, you can talk to a human and say, here's the situation I'm in. What would you do? And they'd say, well, hey, I would run. you know, I'm not in his shoes, sir, and I can't justify or cast aspersions on his decisions. I know from my own experience what the Belizean government wanted me to do would be my death, and I know that for a fact. So I simply chose to go underground.
All right. If you could stick around, John, we're going to get into that. What